do a 6-rounder against Kamil Sokolowski. Everybody saying, what, the Otto Wallin? But here he is. He's part of a package deal, really. Looked after by Dimitri Salita, who's obviously very invested in Clarissa Shields, who we'll see later on this evening. But it's a great chance for British boxing fans to see someone they know pretty well, Matt.
Yeah, well, I mean, he gave Tyson Fury a great fight, didn't he? And he was meant to fight over here against Dillian Whyte. So, you know, he'll be, you know, I'm sure he's pretty gutted that didn't happen. But he's, you know, he's over here now, and he's just got to stay busy, stay active, keep the momentum going in his career, because he's proven himself to be, you know, a really, really competent heavyweight. One of the top guys, I guess. Now, you know, you've got the top sort of 5 or 6 there, but outside of that, I'm sure he's among a few names. So he's just got to stay active, stay busy, and keep winning. Yeah,
correction, this one's over 8 rounds, and Kamil Sokolowski, if you don't know him, if you open the dictionary under hard man, there would be a picture of Kamil. He's much better than his record suggests, and he really, really is tough. So if Otto Wallin can put any sort of dent in Kamil tonight, it will be a mini statement. But he was very respectful at the open workout. He said, I know exactly what Sokolowski's all about, and his record is much better than it is on paper. But a pretty relaxed start here from Otto Wallin.
Yeah, he's just trying to find the distance, doesn't want to overreach, looking for that backhand. And as you say, Sokolowski's a lot better than his record suggests. Has been in there with some real good fighters. So, you know, Wallin showing him that due respect.
But Wallin, he's obviously very well known to us because of the fight that he had with Tyson Fury back in 2019, but he's also coming off the back of a very good win against Dominic Breazeale, someone we also know very well, former Anthony Joshua opponent. But he's big, that's what I would say. Stood in front of him and he towered over me. 6'6", southpaw, who could punch a bit. What am I missing out, Matt?
No, well schooled, good amateur. Seems just that nice little half step back there. Sokolowski missed it, fell forward, and he, you know, just that little half step, good distance, good control of distance, came back in with a 1-2 counter.
You mentioned his amateur pedigree. I spoke to Fraser Clark earlier in the week, who boxed him. He said he was the first southpaw I've ever boxed, and he was everything you would expect a southpaw to be.
Out, round 2.
Second of 8 in this heavyweight attraction. Otto Wallin in the mainly black with blue and gold trim against Kamil Sokolowski in the white with red trim. And was that first 3 minutes to Otto Wallin, Matt?
Yeah, I think so. It was a cage opener, wasn't it, for both men, just having a feeling out, really. But, yeah, Wallin landed the better punches.
Just looking for that long left hand. Wallin partially landed. Just pouring with the jab, and then landing a pretty crisp left hand there. Sokolowski just answering back with a 2-punch salvo of his own, which Wallin took pretty well.
Yeah, Sokolowski's trying to move on to the outside of Otto Wallin. Wallin just trying to beat him down the middle with that straight left.
Just cuffing him round the ear almost with sort of a chopping left hook.
Yeah, I think if Wallin can start getting Sokolowski going backwards and backing him up and pushing him off balance with that jab, then Sokolowski could be in trouble.
That was nice, tidy work from Wallin there. Although good jab from Kamil Sokolowski.
Yeah, good work from Sokolowski. He landed a right hand to the body before that as well. Wallin's in control, but certainly Sokolowski not being overawed. A lot of both guys trying to pull with the lead hand here. Lead hands trying to cancel each other out a little bit. Nice left hand to the body from Wallin.
Yeah. After the pouring, Wallin did commit to the left hand.
You see that sometimes with southpaw and orthodox fighters, the lead hands, the jabbing hands can cancel each other out a little bit.
Round 3.
Otto Wallin speaking perfect English in between rounds. And I know you can only see the back of his head there, but that was Joey Gamache in the corner. Former fighter.
Good shots there from Sokolowski. Good left hook and landed the right hand as well on the back of it. You know, for a top-tier heavyweight, Wallin, if you're going to criticise him, a little bit upright, a little bit static with the head. Let's see a little bit more head movement. Very upright.
Got his gloves up nice and high there as Sokolowski just looked to attack. But Kamil Sokolowski, we said he was a danger man most recently. Got a very good win over George Fox down at the Copper Box last December. Before that, was decent against Solomon Dakers. Gave David Adelaide tough night last April. That wasn't bad work from Wallin, but so far you can't use the word explosive, I don't think. It's not quite caught fire, it's safety first.
Yeah, very much so. He's going through the motions a little bit. But Sokolowski's landed the better shots of this round. I mean, Wallin trying to go to work here and landing some shots, but Sokolowski catching a lot of those on the gloves as well. times a bit like a sparring session, as in, you know, Sokolowski has his go and Wallin tucks up and takes them on the gloves, and then Sokolowski finishes his attack, goes for a breather, and then Wallin steps on and lets his shots go. Kind of you go, I go type thing.
And I just wonder if that is unfortunately part of the mentality when it's an 8-round job, just to get back under the lights. I don't know if Otto Wallin has that fear at the moment, but it would be good if he had it and felt that he could make a statement tonight.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see. But I actually think that even though he's probably landed more shots now, Wallin, those few shots at the start of the round were by far the best shots of the round from Sokolowski.
Not a bad left hand to finish there from Wallin. In what was another round where there weren't many scoring shots to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, Wallin probably, you know, was more aggressive, but I think Sokolowski definitely in that round landed the better shots.
How much of what we're feeling is a hangover from what we've just seen?
Yeah, well, we've gone from seeing an absolute barn burner to two heavyweights that seem like it's a bit of a sparring session.
It's a worthwhile comparison, but at the same time, we don't expect 100 punches a round from heavyweights. But I don't think I'm going to upset anyone when we could say both are capable of throwing a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so. That's a fair summary, I think.
Seconds out, round 4.
Fourth of 8. Otto Wallin, desperate to get his name back up amongst the top tier heavyweights in what is let's be honest, a very moving picture at the top of the heavyweight division. Where does Otto Wallin fit in all of that, Matt?
I don't think he's in the top 5 or 6, but I think he'd be in sort of peripheral top 10.
Nice left hook from Sokolowski there.
The performance with Fury was a very good one. It's the only loss on his record. And I think everyone universally would say that Fury's the #1 in the division as of now. But as you say, a lot of moving plates.
That was better from Wallin, who at least threw the punches in a group.
Yeah, a bit more zip and more than just singles and doubles. At times, Wallin's, you know, it's a bit methodical, isn't he? Lacks a bit of zip in it.
So far, you would say that Otto Wallin, that jab, is pretty much a rangefinder. He's not throwing it with too much authority. He's not perhaps throwing it as a weapon in itself. It is just to set up the left hand.
Yeah, and he's trying to throw the straight left and then the left hook at the back of it, almost like a two-punch combination with the same hand. But it's just a bit, you know, bit one-paced here. I see a little bit more urgency, a bit more spite in his work.
By throwing it that way, it is giving Sokolowski the opportunity just to come over the top of it and time it. It's not the most difficult to read at the moment. But would you say that Wallin is winning?
Yeah, he is, but he's not impressing, is he? He just seems like he's stuck in first gear, going through the motions a little bit.
You just wonder as time ticks on if Kamil Sokolowski maybe looking at the clock and might think I can win this if I really up the pace, if I really believe.
Yeah, well, you know, after this round now we're into the second half of the fight, so it'll be interesting to see if he was, you know, just trying to get here, pace it, get a feel, see where we're at, and actually now he may come out and try and win the fight. At the minute he's fighting in bursts, not doing enough to win the rounds.
So Otto Wallin is in enemy territory, as is the man we're hearing from here, Chris Eubank Jr.
covered. Anywhere the fight goes, he'll be out of his depth. Whether it's a fight, whether it's a boxing match, it's chess, you know, punch up, whatever you want to do, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be on him all night until he quits.
So Eubank Jr. saying any which way, it doesn't matter. But he thinks that he can make Liam Williams quit.
I don't think Liam Williams will quit. I think that he'll be too proud for that to happen. I think he'll. I think it's going to be a close fight. I think it really could go down to the last couple of rounds. I think it'll be a hard-fought fight.
Round 5 in Otto Wallin's UK debut. And so far, it's been pedestrian against Kamil Sokolowski, who we know very well in these parts. And just at the start of this round, Wallin just throwing a little bit more, but he hasn't deterred Sokolowski at all. He hasn't earned his respect, or you don't get the impression that Sokolowski's felt anything that Wallin has landed so far.
No, he's never looked uncomfortable in there at any point, has he? When he wants to go for a rest, he can. I mean, even when he's under the cosh a little bit, he doesn't look bothered by anything that Wallin is throwing.
Short-ish left-handed landed there. As Sokolowski was on his way in, Wallin just timed it quite nicely. Just starting to pump out that jab.
Just seems very lackluster, doesn't it? Very, very kind of going through the motions kind of a performance.
It's not ideally what Otto Wallin probably would have set out here to do.
No, I mean, he's boxing over here. You think of the UK with all the heavyweights, some of the big fights that could be made, you'd expect him to come out here and really want to showcase his skills and make a statement, but that just hasn't happened.
Just a little bit of a frown there, a bit uncomfortable, and I think he's just said to the referee there, he came in with the head. It wasn't deliberate, it was just the way that Kamil Sokolowski comes in with his head down, and unfortunately, I think the heads did come together. But Sokolowski's he's just stepped onto Otto Wallin's toes, and he's just making him work on the inside here, which is not the range that you think that Wallin would want to box at.
No. You know, even there now, you see he had him backed up against the ropes. He throws that left hand and then a left hook, and he almost turns himself onto the ropes. You know, poor sort of ring generalship really from Otto Wallin there. Allowed Sokolowski off the ropes. Sokolowski off the ropes and back into the center of the ring, but he almost turned himself onto the ropes.
But flipping it round and playing devil's advocate, Kamil Sokolowski is not throwing the kitchen sink yet, and he's not doing he's not doing enough to necessarily turn your head.
No, I mean, there's an argument that he could have got one or two of these rounds that I've gone Wallin's way. I just don't think he's doing enough, and he's fighting in bursts. So he'll throw a burst and then back off for a minute, and Wallin will step on him. And he's not doing that much more, but he's doing a bit more. He's doing enough to win the round, and he's dictating things, and he's initiating the attacks. But it's very lackluster.
Dimitri Salita and Ben Shalom. Dimitri here with Otto Wallin, here with Clarissa Shields, and he won't like us mentioning it, but we're very familiar with him because of his contest with Amir Khan And of course, the countdown is on to Khan-Brook. Heads came together again there, and Wallin was just making it known to our referee that he thinks Sokolowski's being dangerous with the head. I'm not sure he's either being wily and experienced, or he's not doing it on purpose. I don't know. This is where, as a fighter, you can tell me he knows exactly what he's doing. But
yeah, I don't think there's anything malicious with it. I just think, you know, southpaw orthodox heads can come together.
Wallin's 31 now, and I'm going to ask that question that everybody asks: when's the peak years for a heavyweight? Has he still got time to go before his peak? Are we in his peak years now at 31? Yeah, heavyweights tend to mature a little bit older, don't they?
Yeah, I would have thought that this is, you know, we're coming into his peak, or he's in his peak now. So really, you know, he's got to make these are the years where he's really got to make it count. He's kind of established himself with that performance against Tyson Fury, and you know, really he's got to catch people's eye. And performances like tonight, you know, they're okay for staying busy, but he's not, you know, no one's really going to leave this arena tonight and talk about Wallin after this performance. It's, you know, people are getting up and going to the bar. It's, you know, he really hasn't set the world on fire at all with this performance. And you know, he's got a slot here on a TV card in the UK. You'd think he'd be really trying to make a name, not make a name for himself, but get people talking about him again after the Fury fight.
Tried the left hand to the body there, and I just think the work rate has upped marginally from Wallin. Perhaps words filtered through that you need to do a little bit more. As Sokolowski just pins him in his own corner there with his head on his chest and just tries to wing away. Not much landed. Okay, so this is how many punches have landed in that time span.
See, there was actually a good left hook and a right hand that landed there, but I was, in terms of ring positioning, a bit critical of the way he went about that, because he had the guy in the corner and then almost landed the left hook and kind of turned himself into the corner. And even though he landed shots, you know, from a trainer's point of view, you'd say strategically positioning in the ring, you know, that was a bad move.
Sokolowski's just got his head on the blind side of the referee there and was working away. Nice left hand from Wallin.
Yeah, that was a good left uppercut from him there. That was a much better shot.
Cries of jubilation from the blue corner there as Sokolowski let his hands go. And they continue to shout encouragement at the pole, now based in Barnstaple, the 35-year-old Kamil Sokolowski. And really what's burning away in the back of my mind is, could Sokolowski really step to Otto Wallin now? He's probably felt what he's got in his armoury. Could he now roll the dice, make a statement for himself? We've bigged him up as a danger man, a hard man.
Yeah, you'd like to see that. I mean, I don't think Wallin's bothered him with anything he's hitting with at all, so I think he feels comfortable enough.
We've been pretty critical of Otto Wallin. The point is, could Kamil Sokolowski now try and win this fight?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. He probably came here knowing that the likelihood is he's here to be the opponent and get rounds on the belt. But, you know, actually having been in there with Wallin, tasted the power and think, you know what, I can live with that. I think he should be going for it more here. And actually, when he does that, maybe Wallin would get the chance to land more cleanly.
And all of a sudden, everything catches fire. But we're not there yet. The pace is still in that, I don't want to say pedestrian bracket because it sounds disrespectful, but...
No, but it is pedestrian, and it's disappointing because Wallin, for someone who, you know, has got profile because of the performance against Fury, it was good, and that was a good performance, by the way. You know, he's over here fighting in the UK, and you look at the fights that have been over here with your Dillian Whytes and your Trezoras and obviously Anthony Joshua, Tyson, and really he's not doing any. Nobody in this arena is going to walk away from here tonight and remember this fight. And if they do, it's because they'll say, God, wasn't that a boring fight? You know, and I don't want to say that disrespectfully, but it's just been one-paced. They're both men are just stuck in first gear, and it's like a sparring session.
And I have to say that is a shame, because the fan in me, when I saw it announced, thought that it's not a bad fight on paper at all, but what do I know? All week, the quote, the self-styled quote, one of the pound-for-pound stars in all of boxing, Clarissa Shields, returns to the UK where she won one of her Olympic gold medals, boxes here for the first time as a pro, and you can see the blue in the braids there. That is a message to everybody back home in Flint, Michigan, where they are still enduring a water crisis, that she's thinking of them and she's representing them, and it is brilliant to see her here in Cardiff. We look forward to that later on. Back to the action here, the 8th and final round of this heavyweight attraction between Otto Wallin and Kamil Sokolowski. Matt, how are you seeing it?
Yeah, I mean, pretty decisively for Wallin, but I'd like to see Sokolowski really go for it here now.
Well, he's got 3 minutes, 2.5. If he is going to change the pattern, make a statement. And Otto Wallin is one from home. And he will have got back out under the lights. He will have shedded a little bit of ring rust, but he probably won't have enhanced his reputation as a fringe world level contender.
No, it's been a disappointing performance. We were expecting a lot more from him, and you know, he just hasn't shown up tonight. It's been one-paced, stuck in first gear, really just going through the motions.
Good straight right hand from Sokolowski landed to the body. But it comes with a final ticking off for use of the head, which you said, I think it's just the way he fights, maybe not deliberate. Yeah,
I don't think
but it's becoming a problem, isn't it? He is boring in, unfortunately. And
yeah, I don't think there's anything nasty with it or intentional. I think it's just the way he comes in with the head low.
Yeah, maybe a tad reckless rather than malicious. Rather comical moment there, that as both came over the top rope, I inherited a little bit of sweat and wiped my face, and Kamil Sokolowski gave me a smile and a wink. And maybe that's a sign of how little has happened that I'm having to talk about that.
It's the highlight of the 8th round. No, disappointing performance. You know, we don't want to keep harping on about it, but when you're a contender in the heavyweight division, and especially when the heavyweight division is on fire right now, you want to put your name in, you want to be talked about, and he just hasn't come out and delivered a performance of anyone worthy of anyone even speaking about it. It's just been the most, you know, a very, very forgettable fight.
And he is a big man, and he can punch. 14 of his 21 wins have come inside the distance, but it's just not happened tonight.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt he's a decent fighter, you know, but he just hasn't delivered tonight. Good right hand there, actually, from Sokolowski.
And that brings that one to a close. And Sokolowski, I don't know, I don't think that's a celebration of a man that thinks he's won. I think it's, I don't know if it's more of just he's got through what you would think from his point of view, a relatively straightforward 8 rounds.
This bout goes the distance, 8 rounds. We go to your judges. Should I say we go to your scoring referee, scoring the bout 79-74, declaring your winner.